All right, we're going to head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason. This one about negotiations with some of the Browns' current players.
Just a quick comment, or maybe get your guys' opinion. With everything that's going on in Cleveland, with all the moves they're making, where do they stand in the negotiations with Denzel and Njoku? Are they planning on just, letting them play these years out and then maybe tag Ward and then sign Njoku, or are they working to try to get a deal for both of them? Or are they just taking their time because of everything else that they're taking care of right now? Just want to hear maybe your opinion. Maybe somebody knows. Thank you. Go Browns.
So again, Quincy, my guess is right now, both of them are under contract for this year. They're going to try to extend Ward. They're going to try to get a long-term deal done with Njoku. They franchise tagged him because they needed more time to figure out the salary cap. They've got some issues on the line that they're trying to address. So it's not that those guys aren't important. Denzel Ward, David Njoku, very important. Right now there's things that require more. There are more pressing things that need the attention and the negotiations.
Yeah, and when it comes to Andrew Berry, there is something to watch with who he chooses to re-sign and who he doesn't. It usually does not come out of nowhere. If you're paying attention to what he has done in the draft, you can tell which players he's probably going to move off of. Now, I personally think that Denzel Ward might not be somebody he's going to bring back at the number that he would have to bring back Denzel Ward at. And that's because if I look at the roster and I look at where the Browns have spent draft assets, they spent a lot of them at DB, right? They've spent a first-round pick on Greg Newsome, who looks like he could be a number one corner, and I think they're more than happy just sliding him up to one in the case that they can't have Denzel Ward. So I think Denzel Ward, look, that's a player that if you were going to keep, I don't think it gets to this point in his contract without a deal or without serious talks of a deal. I know there's been some rumblings, but it doesn't seem like there's been anything serious with him. So I would keep my eyes out that, this might be Denzel Ward's last year with the Browns. When it comes to David Njoku, you look at the roster, they really only have Harrison Bryant. There's not going to be a premium tight end selection this year in the draft. So David Njoku's probably going to get a deal worked out during the season. But Denzel Ward's the one I look at and go, they might see him as somebody that they can let go and replace and not really lose much. It's kind of a similar situation where J.C. Tretter was in, where they just let J.C. Tretter walk because they were like, hey, man, we feel like Nick Harris can step in. Next year, it's probably going to be the same situation with Jack Conklin because they feel like James Hudson could step in. That's just how Andrew Berry seems to operate. He does not let a good player walk unless he feels like he has a good player to replace them. And you could tell how that's going to go by looking at the roster because if he's not going to re-sign somebody a year before he does that, that player's probably on the roster already.